I highly recommend you starting by trying to place your mobile device in some sort of position against a background. So I'm going to use this door here. And I'm going to start the video, and then I'm going to go over here. I have just a tennis ball. You can use any sort of object that will fall to the ground. And I'm going to just try and let go of it and drop it vertically. Okay, that's it. So now all of the other pieces, we will see you back in the Vernier Physics app. Okay, so the second step in our process is we're going to go back to the video we recorded, which in this case is right here. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and edit out all the extra pieces of the video. Now, you don't need to do this, but it's much easier to edit the video in your tablet or phone or computer device than it is to try and edit the video in the Vernier app. So I'm just going to skim through the video, find the point at which I start to drop the ball, and cut there. And then on this side, I'm not really interested in the position after the ball hits the ground, so I'm just going to stop the video right here. Okay, let me now click Done and Save Video, and we're all done with this step. Now we're ready to open up the video in the Vernier Physics app. So you will have a link to access the Vernier Video Physics application. So I'm going to click on that link right here, and this will load up the application on my, I'm using my tablet here. It's the same thing on your phone or on your computer device. So the first thing I want to do is I want to import the video that I just recorded. So I'm going to choose Open a Saved File, and I'm going to go to my photo library. And I'm going to choose this very short, you'll see it's only a 2-second video because I cut out the excess. I'm going to choose this 2-second video. All right, now I'm going to click on Use. Now you'll notice that there's a bunch of different things on my screen, and that could be a little bit confusing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to tap on this little icon that shows you all of the open windows. And I'm going to tap on the data table icon, and I'm going to get rid of the data table, and we won't need the data table for the activity we're going to use. So now I've opened up a little bit more screen real estate. All right, we've got 2 more configuration pieces before we start tracking. The second thing I'd like you all to do is look at this little graph on the left, and this is plotting an X versus Y graph. But really what I'm going to be interested in, what we're going to be interested in, is whether we see some sort of a pattern of how the ball drops as a function of time. So we'll click on this little icon at the top left that shows the X and the Y axis, and I'm just going to deselect the X. So the only thing we want selected is Y, and now you'll see I have a graph with no data points yet of Y position versus time. Okay, and the final thing I'm going to do is, before I start tracking, I'm just going to drag this graph window down to be quite small so I have more screen real estate to do my tracking, and then once we're done tracking, we'll do the exact opposite. Okay, now we're ready to begin tracking, so you can just grab this little crosshairs and let's center it on the ball. Now once it's centered on my object, which in this case is right here, I'm going to tap it, and every time I tap, it's going to advance the frame just a little bit. Okay, so here it is. Okay, and you'll okay, it might be a little bit hard to see once the ball starts to pick up some speed, so just do your best here. Now I think the ball is somewhere here. And now I think it's somewhere here. And I think it's right about the ground now. And then it's starting to bounce back up. So I'll do the same thing for the upward bounce. But the upward bounce doesn't really matter in this case. So if you used, let's say, a stuffed animal that is not going to bounce, don't worry about it, and just stop your video once you've hit the bottom. Okay, so I'm kind of done here. I've watched it go up. I'm not going to do any more. And then, of course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to, again, click on the little section that allows me to make my graph much bigger. And so I'll make the graph now as big as I can, and I'm going to be less interested in having a big video. And you'll notice that we get a very nice sort of parabolic trajectory as the ball falls from its initial position all the way down to the ground. Now, if you'd like, you can even try to track this position of the ball over time by rewinding the video in the video screen and hitting play, and you'll see that the ball is tracked, and the dots that you created by tracking the ball over time are going to be populated in your screen. Okay, that's it. Now, in section, you will be asked some questions about this graph, and I hope you all have a fun time discussing exactly what this graph means.